وتوكل يكون بكل ولنا أقصد الله ملا ويسعي أمرتك ونقول عبد الله ملا.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحج أشهر معلومات، فمن فرض فيهن الحج فلا رفث ولا فسوق ولا جدال في الحج، وما تفعلوا من خير يعلمه الله، وتزودوا فإن خير الزاد التقوى، واتقون يا أولي الألباب. ليس عليكم جناح أن تبتغوا فضلا من ربكم، فإذا أفضتم من عرفات فاذكروا الله عند المشعر الحرام، واذكروه كما هداكم وإن كنتم من قبله لمن الضالين. ثم أفيضوا من حيث أفاض الناس واستغفروا الله، إن الله غفور رحيم. فإذا قضيتم مناسككم فاذكروا الله كذكركم آباءكم أو أشد ذكرا. فمن الناس من يقول ربنا آتنا في الدنيا وما له في الآخرة من خلاق، ومنهم من يقول ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. أولئك لهم نصيب مما كسبوا، والله سريع الحساب. واذكروا الله في أيام معدودات، فمن تعجل في يومين فلا إثم عليه، ومن تأخر فلا إثم عليه لمن اتقى. واتقوا الله واعلموا أنكم إليه تحشرون. صدق الله العظيم.
Mengajarkan student di sini. And it's so bad that verses that were recited in terms of our Indonesia. But all the project you will be called around monastery and Lavasta, where they stand ready to come and address us and give us some advice.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله الكبير المتعال ذي العزة والجبروت والجلال، له الحمد في الأولى والآخرة، وله الحكم وإليه المرد والمآل. ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، ونشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد عبد الله ورسوله طيب الخصال صادق الفعال صلوات الله وسلامه عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه وأزواجه والآل. أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن أول بيت وضع للناس للذي ببكة مباركا وهدى للعالمين فيه آيات بينات مقام إبراهيم ومن دخله كان آمنا ولله على الناس حج البيت من استطاع إليه سبيلا ومن كفر فإن الله غني عن العالمين. صدق الله العظيم. Esteemed scholars, brothers, mothers and sisters, let me commence by reflecting on a very profound reality, and that is, you and I, we are only here today because Allah wanted us to be here. We are only here today because Allah wanted us to be here. And if Allah further accepts us to be Hajj for the coming year, then it makes us from amongst the small, exclusive, privileged, and honored group globally, selected only by Allah, invited only by Allah, and no one else. So the first thing that needs to be emphasized is that as we sit here this afternoon, our hearts should be brimming with gratitude. Gratitude that Allah has given us the physical ability, the health, to endeavor to embark on this journey. Gratitude that Allah has given us the means to be able to consider it. Gratitude that Allah has given us life. There are so many who have passed on without fulfilling this deep desire and lifelong wish of theirs. And also gratitude to Allah that Allah placed the thought in our hearts that we must embark on this particular journey. The verse is famous. Allah says, وَأَذِّنْ فِي النَّاسِ بِالْحَجِّ. Allah's instruction to Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. O Ibrahim, you make the proclamation, يَأْتُوكَ رِجَالًا وَعَلَى كُلِّ ضَامِرٍ. That they will come. Allah didn't say they will apply, they will secure a ticket, they will secure accreditation, they will secure an application. Allah said they will come. Who will make them come? I will make them come. And that's the point I want to emphasize up front. That us being here, and inshallah us being on the journey of Hajj, is not our doing. It's a calling. The caller is Allah. The inviter is Allah. And when Allah invites, it's not based on ethnicity, it's not based on the validity of a passport, it's not based on wealth, it's not based on status. Allah calls hearts. Allah is not calling people who have the means, who have the passport, who have secured particular approval. Allah calls hearts. Last year we were on Hajj. I bumped into a man between the tents of Mina. A person I knew from South Africa. Suffice to say, he was the last person that I expected to see on Hajj. I won't go into the details in terms of why, but the kind of life that he was living. I had to do a double take, Look again, this is really you. And he smiled, he broke out into a smile, and he said, well, I know you didn't expect to see me. And then he said something that is what I'm emphasizing. He said, I'm here in Ihram on Mina on the first day, but even I didn't know how I got here. He told me, okay, well, this is not the place to speak. When we get back home, we'll meet up for coffee, and I'll tell you my story. But I'm still scratching my head. I don't know how I got here. 3 months after we returned, he breathed his last after Asr on the day of Jummah. And if you know the kind of life that he was leading up to that particular point, like I said, I don't want to go into the details. The person is now deceased. But he was the last person that you would expect to see on the plains of Mina. But Allah knows what was in his heart. That when there were many people in his family, in his community, in his locality that were outwardly more pious than him, that who outwardly had a greater desire than him. This man had no money. That much I knew. Because he was asking. People had to come and help him for day-to-day needs. That's why he meant it, and he told me, even I don't know how I got here. But look at what the Hajj did for you. Look at what the Hajj did for him. So, systems can change and they will change. Routes can change, rules will change. But the caller and the inviter has never changed and will never change. Last year was a mission-based system, today, this year it's a Nusuk-based system. This dunya is a place of change. This world is a place of change. But the one calling is the same one. The caller will never change. So that's the first aspect that I wanted to touch on, gratitude. The second aspect is nervousness. There is naturally, whenever you're going to embark on a journey of a lifetime, there's going to be a degree of nervousness. This year, perhaps, added nervousness and anxiety because it's a totally new system. We're the first ones now from a South African perspective. But remember something about Hajj, right? That Hajj had always been nervous. There will always be a challenge. So this year, there's confusion. How does the payment work? The e-wallet, it's not activating. My money, it's not loading. How can I do my flights? How can I do this? Shorter package, longer package? Because we used to a different system. So that's our challenge for this year. But every generation of Hajj had their challenges, which made them nervous and which made them somewhat anxious. In the old days, they had to travel for months, so they had to worry about bandits. If a bandit got hold of you, took all your money, all your provisions, that's the end of your Hajj journey. There were times when they had to pass through areas that were plagued by disease. Long sea journeys. Many times, a big percentage of those who left for Hajj never made it. They died on the way because of these kinds of challenges. So we don't have those challenges now. We're not worried about the plague, we're not worried about having to navigate rough seas, we're not worried about bandits. Our challenge this year is a bit more of a technological one. It's more of a system one, it's more of a processes. So there will always be that degree of uncertainty. There will always be that challenge. But that's part of the beauty of the system of Hajj which Allah has put in place from time immemorial up to the day of Qiyamah. So there's nothing wrong, that's the point I want to make. That if you're feeling a little nervous, a little bit unsettled, a little bit anxious, remember, even the Anbiya alayhi salatu wasalam, when they were given a mission, they were nervous. Musa alayhi salam said, Rabbi shrah li sadri. Lord, expand my testimony. There was a kind of tightness that he felt. The third aspect that I want to touch on is that your Hajj journey will not start when you embark on a plane. And it will not conclude when you disembark on a plane. Your journey is already started. It has already started. That's why I said, you are here because Allah brought you here. And your journey started with the thoughts. Your journey started with an intention. And this is the one thing that we cannot emphasize enough in the Mala'amal Bidniyat. It's all about your intentions. And it's all about the process from now already. Not only from the time you embark on the plane, when you get your passport on hand. You'll be tested now with patience. You'll have to make an effort now. There may be confusion all over the system and the processes, with the boss, with the leave application, with the arrangements for the children, who's going to look after them, all sorts of things. Then you'll have got the unforeseen potholes and hiccups, things you never foresaw would arise at the most inappropriate of times. This is part of it. It's part of the journey. How do you deal with it? That's what I want to share with you. See, Islam avoids extremes. وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَاكُمْ أُمَّةً وَسَطًا. We take the middle path. So one extreme is to have the different Gujarati, they say that go ahead, go ahead, like a daisical, indifferent approach. Go along, I'm super chill, I'm cool, nothing gets to me. No, that's one extreme. And the other extreme is to stress so much that it sucks up all of the enjoyment out of the preparation of the journey and all of the enjoyment out of the journey. You start to catastrophize everything. What if this happens? What if that happens? What if that goes wrong? All if. The hadith says, take if out. But in the law of the Quran, shaitan, that if is opening up the door, the devil is playing with your mind. You're going to go mad, as they would say in our terminology. Just overplaying in your mind. So avoid the one extreme when you want to be super chilled. Right? This is not a chilling process. But avoid the other extreme where you overthink everything and you overstress everything. Islam tells us you make your best effort. So, listen attentively here. The brothers have come all the way from the Saudi kingdom. They made the effort to come and to brief you directly. So, you take responsibility. You educate yourself. You take help from the people who are able to help you. You ask your questions. You prepare thoroughly, adequately. There's no stupid question. This for any su'al. Half of knowledge is to ask the questions. But once you've done whatever is within your control, then you let go. وَمَنْ يَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ فَهُوَ حَسْبُهُ. Then you leave it in the hands of Allah, and when you have reliance in Allah, Allah is sufficient for you. Reliance in Allah doesn't mean you make no effort, or you take no precaution, or you don't do any planning. There's no intelligence like planning. But once you do whatever it is within your ability to do, leave it to Allah. Beautiful system which Allah has given us. So yes, the debate will continue, which system is better, we just coming off another system, we may feel that there was certain positive there. Who knows that we get the positives yet? Right? We don't know what is the unseen, we don't know what is the unknown. But there will be some degree of challenge, there will be some degree of hardship. Do the best that you can, keep calm, don't get too flustered. Then ultimately, whatever Allah decrees is for the best. Whatever Allah decrees for the best. Positive or negative. Something happens which is good, you make shukr. Something bad happens, you make salah, you take it in your spine. As I conclude, there is another point that I want to emphasize. You know, if you don't get a visa, or you don't get approval, or the system opens and your name doesn't come in, that will be tragic. But what will be a greater tragedy is if you get your approval, and your name is listed, and you get to Mina, and Muzdalifah and Arafah, but you arrive with a dead heart. You arrive with an exhausted heart. Many times the scholars will tell you that people come with a lot of enthusiasm for Hajj. They come with a good intention, but they mean well. And then when you see them, Medina is okay, because it's a short stay, a couple of days. Makkah, Umrah, everything. Then you just see a nosedive. Because here, when you wake up in the morning, you've got children to get ready, you've got lunch boxes to make, you've got school rounds to do, you've got to go to work, you've got to see the clients. Now all of a sudden, you have all this time in the world, and you've got no routine of ibadah. At home, you would just make for salah. That's it. Little bit of Quran in there. You've got no routine of ibadah. So you prepared financially, your money is in order, you prepared logistically, right? All your nusuk and all those things, fine. But spiritually, you didn't prepare. Spiritually, you didn't prepare. I always say, you can't come on the day of the comrades, which is the biggest gathering in South Africa, and say, here's my brand new pair of khakis, here's my money, I paid my application fee, here's my accreditation, I'm ready to run. Okay, technically you're accredited, but you haven't run in your shoes. You haven't had altitude training. You haven't given yourself the best chance. So from now, this is a season of change. Rajab, Sha'ban, Ramadan. Give up sin. That's the most important. Get your salah in order, and slowly but surely start building up momentum in terms of your routine of ibadah. It will help you for Ramadan. But Ramadan is going to give you that boost because Ramadan has no spirituality. And all you have to do then after Ramadan is maintain it for a few weeks. Now when you go for Hajj, you physically prepared, you financially prepared, but you're also spiritually prepared. You will also be spiritually prepared. So those are a few reflections. I'll conclude with this. Hajj is not tourism. Hajj is transformation. Even last year when we were on Hajj, was the one point we were repeating to the Hajj. You can go for Hajj and come back, and technically you have discharged an obligation. Hajj was further than me, and I discharged it. But the true sign of an accepted Haji is that you are a better person when you come back from Hajj, a better Muslim, and you remain like that until the last day. So that must be your intention from now, and that must fuel and guide your preparation. That I'm not only going here so I can be in Mina and Muzdalifah and Arafah and do what I need to do, so technically I discharge an obligation. Hajj is not a badge that you wear afterwards, like you say, been there, done that, got the t-shirt. No, it's not a badge. Hajj is about breaking and rebuilding. You do it partially, and Allah will break you by testing you and rebuild you. Allah is not breaking you because Allah dislikes you, it's because Allah wants to transform you. So you'll be tested in various ways, in crowds, in queues, in people. Salillah al-afiyah, we ask Allah for ease. We don't go looking for difficulty. When Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam had an option between two things and both were equally permissible, he took the easy option. But when Allah decrees that you'll be tested, then you embrace it. But that is the decree of Allah. So understand that. And Hajj lillah. If you perform Hajj, and you don't do what you're not supposed to do, and you do what you're supposed to do, it's not just a journey. It's not just an ibadah. It's your ticket to Jannah. Hajj al-Mabrur, laysa lahu jazaa'un illa Jannah. See, Allah said Hajj is compulsory only once in a lifetime. Why? Because if you do it right once, it's enough to secure your transformation in this world, and you enter into Jannah in life. That's simple. If you do it right once, it's enough for your salvation in this world as well as in the afterlife. So I conclude with this supplication. May Allah allow us not only to reach Makkah, Mina, Muzdalifah, and Arafah. May Allah take us there with afiyah May Allah bring us back, transformed and changed for the better, and keep us that way up to our last breath, inshallah. Jazakumullah, keep smiling, be positive. The Muslim is positive, the Muslim is optimistic. Inshallah, it will all work out well. When you come back from Hajj, and you will be the first to say, I was stressing for Hajj. تقبل الله منا ومنكم جزاكم.
Jazakallah for those wonderful advices. I accept, inshallah. Alhamdulillah, I think we without further ado, respected guests, it is with great gratitude of Allah that we are becoming to Al Carpentry, a respected servant of Judge, and a person of vast experience, the armed engineer Ahmed Zaki from Rawal. Brother Ahmed has traveled from the blessed lands of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to be with us. And Ahmed Zaki has over 50 years of service to the Judge, and through his efforts and honor of serving pilgrims from more than 100 nationalities here. It has not been merely an achievement of management, but a great command and responsibility in the service of the guest of Allah. His organization has been awarded 3 times the best B2C service provider before COVID and once again after COVID. A reflection of sincerity, consistency, and steadfastness, even through times of trial. Engineer Ahmed Zaki is an engineer by profession and served as a teacher for 25 years. His academic discipline, combined with practical experience, has produced a leadership style rooted in planning, patience, and perseverance. Known for a faithful resolve and strong determination, he leads a team of highly qualified professionals, all engineers and master's degree holders, many of whom have remained together since 2001, united for one purpose, and that is freedom. And honored by his presence, and ask Allah to place barakah in his efforts to accept his service as a judge and to allow us to benefit from his experience and advice. Please join me in welcoming the engineer Ahmed Zaki.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Wa salatu wa salamu ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Sisters and brothers, I came honestly from Makkah to meet you, not because of promoting something or marketing any packages. I came to meet the Muslim community in South Africa, whose prospective Hajj for the coming Hajj, inshallah, just to give you a brief explanation about the Nusuk system. And we know this is the first year in this system, so there is a little bit worries and concerns about the system. First of all, the system is real and it's working for more than 130 countries around the world, and this is the 4th year of the system. We are, as a Rawaf, we serve in this system last 2 years and the coming Hajj, inshallah, the 3rd years. South Africa, it is new to this system, but based on data from Nusuk, mashallah, tabarakallah, South Africans doing very well. This is what we notice when we are checking Rawaf packages, mashallah. A lot of sisters and brothers, they are already registered and verified, and even they prefer the package. And the last thing they can do at the moment, they are configured their package. This is our package base, we are very happy. But about the worries and the concerns which we felt in the last 2-3 weeks, you are right. Everything new the first time, always there is a concern. But I can assure you everything will be, inshallah, smooth and nice, with a little challenges. Hajj means challenges. I'm working over 30 years. If there is no challenges, this is not Hajj. Everything in our life, if at the end of the trip, if the reward is big, the way always full of challenges. For example, if you want your son to be the number one, the first in the class, that means a lot of study, a lot of challenges. If you want to be successful surgeon, the trip it is very long and a lot of challenges. And the reward in Hajj, it is fully forgiveness, inshallah. So we are all together. If we find any hardness, any challenges, Rawaf around you. Not only Rawaf, even the other companies, which is in Nusuk, we believe all the other companies will be very helpful, very Hujjaj-oriented, all the Hajj days. So what I should also explain. Okay. Our packages, we made it with a lot of care. We try to not make a big change when you comparing which based on what you used to do it. But this is the maximum number of days we can offer for the brothers and sisters in South Africa. Maybe if you log into the Nusuk system, the South Africa package automatically appear. It is different type of the rest of the hundreds of packages. Our package, but check me out. Maybe if you talk about the packages, because really I don't want to promote our package. You know, I don't do marketing. I just came as a representative of one of the Nusuk companies, just to make you a little comfort and relax about this system. It is a real, it is a exist, and it is, inshallah, a successful Nusuk system, but we agree that it is not 100% because it is a new system, but every year there is an improvement in the system. So, okay. We have, as a Rawaf, 2 packages for South Africa, and the number under these 2 packages, honestly, it is very brief number. Because the number of Hujjaj for the coming Hajj, inshallah, Nusuk system, it is 1,140. We are, as a Rawaf, we decide to provide 30% of this book to South African community. And there is another companies in Nusuk, they are also providing to this community, to this market, another packages. But we are very confident about our packages because, not because it's our, but honestly, I am very confident with the flights, with the itinerary of the package. Alhamdulillah, before those packages, we were consulting with Sister Waida and Brother Muhammad Mia. Yes, I agree. We couldn't respond 100% to their needs and requests because there is many challenges. challenges, but I believe we succeed 80 to 90% of their needs. And Alhamdulillah, as you see, our flights from 3 gateways in South Africa, it is very popular, Alhamdulillah, like what you used to do in the past. And the number of nights in Medina and Makkah 5-star before going to Hajj building, we tried our best, Alhamdulillah, and the number of lights and configuration for those two packages, it is very good number, Alhamdulillah. So we are thankful for all of you based on the configuration we saw in our two packages. What is the next? Sister Rueda, if you explain the packages, this is not because I don't know the packages we created, but really my intention, I don't want to do marketing or promote. I just come all the way to show you Rawaf. It exists here in front of you, and we promise that we are going to serve you, inshallah, if you choose our package. And one more thing, for example, during your stay in Medina and in 5-star in Makkah, you are the only Hujjaj we have. The other 9,500 will come after you. So all Rawaf team in Medina, they are taking the care only South African Hujjaj. And when you arrive to Makkah, okay, near to Haram, we at that moment we don't have Hujjaj in Makkah, only South Africa. After when you move to the third building, our 9,500 start coming to Makkah. So full attention for only South African Hujjaj will be given by Rawaf Mina.
But Ahmed Zakari, had a lot of mind is, why there's only two packages. This is probably the question you're asking. Some of us obviously are inclined to a shorter package. I think this is the first time that obviously all the service providers are on Nusuk. And the system is very different to normal systems. And obviously sometimes everybody has to mention this, and we have to understand what the requirements are and how many people choose packages. So I think that's one of the reasons obviously we look at these two packages as there's multi-package. As Ahmed Zakir has indicated, that South Africans go to early part. And is a limited effect. There are Rawaf team working and you realize the rest of the 8,000 or 8,500 only come after us. But the rest of the world only comes for 15 or 16 or 17 days. And for them obviously probably you will use the 5 weeks or 6 weeks package. It makes it very challenging for them to put the entire team to only oversee a certain amount of charge. I'm going to give it over to Roja and we'll go to the factory and we'll come out from the factory.
But I repeat, our action was very brief, by fee. Nobody takes this high risk for the first year with a country we don't know how the reflection will be. Why? Because all the package, not only Rawaf, all the packages you see in Nusuk, those packages, it is not booked by the service provider. It is actually rented and fully paid. All the accommodations and all the services. So in Nusuk system, there is a risk if I make an exceptional package, 28 days, 25 days, 1 month, the other countries, they don't like and they don't prefer this long package. And if you log into Nusuk, obviously you will see it is very clearly most of the packages between 10 to 18 days only. But your preferences is different. So making packages for South Africa, it needs a decision. And we took this decision, okay? It looks too packaged, but the number of the beds you are talking about, we have just one company, 50%. I don't know the other companies, but I believe there's another service providers who create packages for South Africa. Honestly, I didn't see by myself how it looks, but at the end, they are approved service provider under monitoring of Ministry of Hajj. We believe everyone would take care of South African Hajj, or they have to. It's not up to. They have to take care of all Hajj because the Nusuk system, it is monitoring and supervising by Ministry of Hajj to make sure all Hajj from all around the world to get the right service on the right time and all promises be done. Okay.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to our respected ulama, our honored guests from Saudi Arabia, Brother Ahmed Zaki, my colleagues from Rawaf, and to you brothers and sisters, mothers and fathers, shukran for your attendance today. And I pray that each one of you who have made the effort to be here today be among the chosen guests of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala this year for the Hajj. And may you find yourselves on the plains of Arafat with all your du'as and your Hajj accepted, inshallah. Ameen. Just to expand on what Maulana was saying and Brother Zaki, it is only by the will and the invitation of Allah that you will find yourself there because of your niyyah and your intention from your heart. Having said that, we selected Rawaf Mina after careful consideration, after putting thought into what they provide, what services they guarantee, and what we want for our Hujjaj. This is how we looked at it when we partnered with them. For us, our priority is servicing the guest of Allah. Whilst many people focus on luxury and comfort, proximity, location of hotels, what type of flights we're taking, how many hours we have in transit, I think the priority, given that this year we are placed on Nusuk, is obtaining a Hajj visa. If you are successful on the day, then you are definitely among the chosen ones. And the top one of your priority would mean that you are enabling, or you have been enabled to make Hajj this year. So if I have to go back to the time we spent in conversation with Rawaf, we say shukran to Rawaf for trying to accommodate our South African market. We took the history of Hujjaj and their wants and their needs over the last 10, 15 years. And historically, South Africans preferred a longer stay. They wanted to get the 40 rocks in Medina. And to that end, Rawaf Mina supplied us, structured a package that gave you the 9 nights in Medina. So if you look at Rawaf 405, this is the package that gives you the 9 nights in Medina and the 4 nights in Makkah Mukarramah, moving then, this is called a shifting package, moving then to Azizia, pre and post Hajj. Because you have to consider the 6 days of Hajj, you are technically supposed to be on the Mashari. And then the second package that we structured for our South African market was based also on the popularity of a 4-week package, which generally featured 5 nights in Medina and 3 to 4 nights in Makkah. So these are the 2 packages. We are grateful to Rawaf Mina for having accommodated us in such big numbers. We have 174 packs per package with a structured flight. This gives you the opportunity to configure this package with the flight, and it improves and it heightens your chances of getting the package on the purchase day. Now, you probably followed some of our talk shows, some of our webinars where we repeatedly say that on the day that the purchases go live, if you are not fast enough, you will not succeed. If we take the numbers that we have been given, currently we are shown that we are oversubscribed by 11,000. Our quota is 1,140. Over 12,000 South Africans have registered on the Nusuk system. And we are all fighting for that Hajj visa. So given that fact, it means that you have to be very fast, because on that day you are logging the Nusuk system together with over 450,000 other Hajj from all over the world. Because the system is global. It goes live for everyone at the same time. So there are a lot of technical aspects to how you can ensure that you get in on time. We will answer that on the question and answer session. But just to give you a little background regarding Nusuk, as Brother Ahmed Zaki indicated, a lot of us went into the registration process with a lot of questions. It is an unknown. It is an unknown for the Hajjis, it is an unknown for us. For us that will be working for the first time as guides within an environment that is new to us. Although we have taken missions previously, we worked under a different system. So for us, we are trying our level best to fit into the system and to make the journey easy for you by acquiring as much knowledge as we possibly can. And inshallah, we hope that we can allay your fears and we can answer some of your questions. And I think for us, the biggest factor at the moment is having to ensure that all our pilgrims that have selected our packages are successful, inshallah, on that day. I'm going to hand over back to Ms. Mohammedia, and then on the question and answer slot, I will answer some of your questions that you may have with regards to the two packages.
I want to simplify how it works. Let's say in this hall, we have 1,140 chairs, which is South Africa approved code. And the door will open 5 o'clock afternoon. Outside, there is a 10,000 waiting to enter this hall. 10,000 outside the door. Inside the door, only 1,140 chairs. When the doors is open, the first 1,140 could make it and sit on the chairs, the others next year, inshallah. But still, there is something called phase 2 or maybe phase 3. What is this phase 2 or phase 3? Phase 2 and phase 3, if there is any company, not fulfill the quota, okay, because each country has a quota. There is some countries not filling their quota. After phase 1 finish, all not filled quota come open to all countries again without any limitation, okay, as a second chance to buy a package. So, if you couldn't make it in phase 1 because the country quota run out, or maybe your preferred package run out, okay, it is not end of the world. Straight away, continue making dua, inshallah, maybe there is a nasib in phase 2. And if there is a no nasib in phase 2, it is not end of the world. There is a khair definitely. If you will reward it for intention, inshallah, that's Hajj. But phase 1, not that effort. I just take the mic to explain how serious 5 o'clock when I give an example. It's not 5 o'clock, inshallah, 5:30, I will look to the Nusuk, what's going on? No, all done. Inshallah, we will announce when we get information from ministry, by our guides, by our link tree, when the exact time to purchase the package. So this time must be taken very serious if you want to be granted a package.
So as Sister Wada indicated with regard to the 2 packages, I guess most of you probably have applied and have been verified. Even if you haven't been verified with it, obviously our team is ready to assist. A lot of people have challenges in terms of quotas and challenges in terms of verification. There's a process also that can be streamlined and managed, and you can reach out to our plans to assist you and guide you with this process itself. So as well as there's these 2 packages that are here, I think we'll move on. But with regard to the packages, any questions with regard to the packages? And anybody needs clarity on these 2 packages? You should take it right now.
The way your packages say that they're including flights, but that's confusing on your Nusuk system is you're looking at the package, you now adding on the fact that maybe you prefer a double room, not a quadroom, etc. And now you get to a point, and you choose your camp, and then you get to a point with flights. If it says it's including flights, then you still need to complete that portion because it seems as though you have to. And when you look at those flights, a lot of them say that not available, not available, not available, and you have no idea how to sort it on that issue, how to find a flight. Is it on you then to choose a flight and add on that cost? Or does it mean that if you've chosen this package, you go from a quadroom to a double room, you go from whichever camp it is that you're choosing, and you ignore the section that has flights and you continue on, and that's how you conclude your configuration.
The calculus system. Okay, so you see I scroll back to this package, 405, and then on the extreme right hand side, it shows you flights, and it shows you the flag of South Africa. It means that on this package here, there are flights readily available and secured. 70 seats for Joburg, 60 seats for Cape Town, and 44 for Durban. It means that only on this package do you have these Emirates flights secured, and this allotment is for this package. However, during the configuration stage, no matter what package you take, you've got to configure a flight with the package for it to be completely configured. Without a flight, that means you've left it hanging. Okay? So this is why if you select the package, you will move down onto the choice of room, your double configuration. At this point, it's noteworthy to know that these packages were made for South Africa, and that is why Makkah and Medina are all on a double basis. Because historically that's what South Africans do. They don't share quad. And if you take all the other packages in the system, irrespective of which service provider it is based on quad sharing. Okay? But because the building in Azizia has an allotment of double, triple, and quad, you have to select the double, triple, and quad. And obviously that is first come, first served. So that is basically how I say it's luck. Okay? But when you configure the package, you do the selection of the rooms, and it asks you the camp, you will put Al Mu'aysam because Al Mu'aysam is what is configured in that package price. And when we say it's inclusive of flight, it means it has the structured flight for this package. That means you've got to go and select it. Because you have packages that are global but do not have a flight. You understand? So in this case, you will select from which city you are leaving so that the flight attaches to your package and you create your grand total, and then you know how much to top up your e-wallet because it has given you now a cumulative total amount. This is the package you configure and you put into your card.
So the package influences the configuration of the flight, and the cost of the flight is going to add up the cost of the
Separate? That's right.
The flight in Nusuk, 2-time flight. There is a group flight. Group flight means by service provider. When you reach flight page, you will see the itinerary of the flight. This is service provider flight. If you don't like this flight, there is another choice. It says custom flight. That means you customize your flight. You enter like any booking website. You want the flight from Jasper, for example, to Jeddah, and from Medina to Jasper, and the system starts searching what available flights on that date. They brought Etihad, Emirates, Turkish Airlines, many choices, like in everyday life, as you know. This is called GPS. When you choose customize my flight, that means you choose GPS. This flight, if it's now during the configuration, it's taken by you and you put it in the basket, in the Nusuk, it will not stay till day of purchase. Because you didn't pay anything, you didn't book that flight. It's just show you what flights available based on your dates. But when the purchase day is come, 100%, this flight, it is not in the basket. You need to search again, okay, to add it to your package so you can pay and get the package and the flight all together. But service provider flight, group flight, this is reserved and payment is done and booked under Rawaf Mina name. So it is 100% real and all the timing and schedule 100% confirmed. This will stay with you in your basket package and the group flight. At the day of purchase, you just click to the basket. All what you put it before will appear, purchase, finish. But if you choose GPS, you need to search for the flight on that day. You explain in your way, I explain in my way, so 2 times is good.
Muhammad will explain. I think what I'm trying to say here is that your chances of purchasing a package is inclusive of purchasing price if you have a great chance. Again, serving a tailor-made GPS global solution system flight, obviously there could be a challenge in stuff.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Just to make your sister aware that the packages are based on double in Medina and Makkah. So when you configure the package on the system, you come up with a class to double, triple, or quad. If you look at the costing of the price of the double and the price of the quad, it's exactly the same. So being Rawaf Mina's first time in South Africa, they are offering 22 double rooms per package at no extra cost. So you configure your packages, those that want the double rooms, you can put double rooms there. It's only 22. which will be available on a first come, first served basis, which you can configure into your package itself. Remember again that on the day of purchase, once you click onto your basket, if it's not available because of the government anesthesia, that means you will have to reconfigure your package again. So on the safer side, it could be that also, when you configure it, it's better to choose a quad to make your chances much more easier of getting hold of that particular day as well. Exactly.
We understand from here what you configured now, it is not 100% definite. If you configure, for example, Medina and the 5-star, there is a no configuration. All our package, it is double sharing. There is a no another choice. It is all double. But Azizia and the flight, for example, you are living in Johannesburg and you choose a seat in Johannesburg, and for example, you choose double in Azizia. At the day of purchase, you just click the basket and go to purchase. The system says, for example, there is a no more seats on Johannesburg. So what is the plan B? Always you need to have plan B, okay, with consultation with Sister Ruwaida or Brother Muhammad. There is not only plan A in the system. Always prepare yourself what is the better plan B and keep it in your mind. If the things not go as you planned in plan A, straight away, I mean seconds, you need to go to plan B. If you are insist to go to Hajj, if there is a flight from Cape Town, are you ready? Did you decide it? If I couldn't find a flight from my city, I will take whatever else available. All this decision must be made before the purchase date.
I have two questions and they are interrelated. I'm to concern that there are only 22 governments in this year. And my concern is about people that have got mobility issues. Okay, who need assistance in bathrooms, for example. Is there special motivation that can be submitted? And the other question is, if we take our Western campus just about 3 or 4 kilometers from the Jamarat, will we be a shuttle service provided?
Muazzam, there is no shuttle buses to Jamarat from Muazzam camp. Only day 10 and 11, there is a governmental shuttle take you to Haram for Tawaful Ifada. It is operated by government, and there is hundreds of the buses in Al-Muazzam camp area. Actually, Nusuk camp area. Take you only to Haram and bring you back to Muazzam. What is the first question? We provide wheelchair self-service with wheelchair. The vehicle itself is provided, but if there is a family, one of the family needs the other, he needs to push and assist. Only we provide for free the wheelchair, but as a human assistance, we don't have.
Now, the question I have is related to the double accommodation. Okay. If a couple or a family needs double accommodation because of the assistance required for private use, okay, what is there any allowance for this?
obviously families there, and I'm not sure how many people have configured the package and stuff. But the way it's possible, obviously, we will try and guide and assist within our capacity, within the work capacity and ability, but obviously this cannot be guaranteed.
Okay, just excuse me. Nusuk system, not Nusuk system, this packages, it is not very flexible. You know, it is, to be honest, it is not flexible, only in something extreme, we create the flexibility, but it is not flexible. This package created for South Africa. The flight, it is from South African cities, but there is no surprise if a Muslim from UK, he bought the package from South Africa and he's flying from London to Johannesburg to come with the group going from Johannesburg to the Hajj. This is possible in this system. Yeah. There is no guarantee because of that. There is no flexibility. Because there is a question. This is definitely we will buy? No. But definitely for you, create it. And the price is brought only for you. But the system flexibility in some items very flexible, in other items very strict. Yani, okay?
Firstly, thank you to CAPS for pursuing this and for helping South Africans. So first, thank you to you and to Rakamina for working together. I have three questions or comments. The first is, does this exist on the app? Because if you go into it, you don't see a separate thing for South Africans yet. Because we have around 4 or 6 or 5 million, it doesn't exist for South Africans yet, and we can't keep on. That's the first thing. Secondly, configuration. You cannot choose between 2 camps. Rafa, all your choices are for the second camp. You cannot go back to the first, even if you try to configure and even if you have the money. And you pointed out this is what you've chosen, which is the best. That's the second. But there is a more philosophical point that I have, and I'm a bit worried about it. So you pointed out that 12,000 South Africans have been verified. But you also pointed out that the first 1,400 who paid, they will be the ones, like the ones who come in and fill the seats, they are the ones who are going to be paying. And I think that's a bit sad. So AI should be able to verify. So one family can book 20 packages, whereas one person has been planning for 20 years to get to Hajj. And he puts his money in a day later than where the others have put it. And he can't come in.
Okay, criticizing the system, how it works, I am not the person who can answer it. Okay, why is that? Why? You know, this is the criticism and evaluation of the system. I am not governmental representative. I am not the Nusuk man. Okay, I am one of the service providers representative. No, it's evaluation, let's say, evaluation. This is how the system works. Giving a chance for everyone to register, to get verified, to be ready, but at the end, there is a quota system. Nobody knows, you know, who will get the package. We cannot apply this quota before who enter to the system. This is different. Nusuk, it is giving the chance for everyone. What is the second and the third and the fourth question?
Does it exist on the app?
Yeah, I think it won't per se appear on it. That means obviously if you have been verified, And obviously, if you apply for Hajj visa, then you got verification, then you will have a username and a password. And then you go into Nusuk, and you enter your username and your password once to verify, and you enter and you'll see packages that are there. So obviously, and service providers. And you got this bottom function where you can choose which service provider, which package. So if you even put under search and you put the relevant package that are 145 or 46, it will come up your screen and then it will give you the ability to choose the relevant packages. So it's not per se on app, you have to go into your profile and from there you will pick up it. Yes, you will see sometimes what happens is on all these packages you will see some on most service providers, they are flagged. So you see a UK one or you see a Canada one attached to the one that's there. So when you're choosing a package, try and you see one that's universal, multiple flags. So if you feel at any given time that you're not a customer, you feel that you don't want to choose 4 or 5 or you want the universal one, then you have the ability to choose the universal one that's there and then focus on all countries. And most of the service providers will have probably 1 or 2 of these packages, not more than that.
Sorry, and the third one, why can't we change to the other camp?
Just a second, brother. I just want to clarify. There is a Nusuk app and there is a Nusuk platform. The app that you download on your phone is basically for Umrah and you only require the app to make a booking for Ramadan. But to apply for Hajj, you are registering on the Nusuk Hajj platform. That is where you create a profile that gives you a username and a login. A username, password, and you log in. It is there where you filter the package that you want. And as soon as you go into the search and you put 405, you bring this package up. Or you put 406 and you search, it brings the package up. Regarding the camp, if you have already configured one package with Al-Mu'asim, the system does not allow you to configure a second package. Okay? On the day of purchase, should your first configuration not be successful, you can configure a second one, but you can prefer up to 5 packages. In other words, you can go to the package and there's a little heart that comes onto the package, and on that heart you'll click on it and you'll save it as a preferred choice of yours. Does that answer your question?
Brother, are you sure there is an app called Nusuk Hajj? Platform? No, as an app, maybe no app. Nusuk Hajj, not Nusuk. Nusuk Hajj must be. Okay, this is one. What do you mean by other camp? Majoral cash. We don't do Majoral cash with South African packages. There is a reason, okay? We can't make everyone happy. We took the common thing. If I make Majoral cash, the price will increase 2,500 till 3,000 something. Additional on the package price. Even Allah knows we try to make it the cheapest as much as we can, forget the profit, whatever. This is the first year, and unfortunately not everyone is happy with this price. So if I add Majoral cash, so it will increase another 3,000 riyal. Because of that, we make South Africa a Muslim, which is 95% of Nusuk Hajj Hujjaj will be in Al-Mu'azzam. I myself, I am the majority in Al-Mu'azzam, not Majoral.
Just to answer one question, you asked if 1,400 people who pay the money, those are the ones that will be allowed to buy the package. Is that correct? So the system doesn't operate like that. 12,000 people have configured a package and 12,000 people have uploaded the e-wallets to the full amount to cover their costs. On the day of sale, on the first phase, the first 1,140 people who purchased packages from South Africa, they will be only get onto the money that will be accepted to go on the first phase of sale. So that answers your question. Secondly, the lady had asked the question before for the elderly, who asked if there was transportation between Azizia and Mina and so on. Yes, they call it a via system, a bus system, which is a shuttle bus system during the days of Hajj. We transport you from Azizia to Mina, Mina to Arafat, Arafat to Muzdalifah. At a certain point from Muzdalifah, because of crowd on the roads, most of the Hujjaj actually walk from there onwards. If you do want to bus from there out on that day, it means you will have to wait until the crowd subsides before a bus will be provided for you from there till the Mina comes. However, from Mina to the Jamarat to Azizia, etc., most of them moving forward is all walking. There is certain times when you find buses, like Sheikh Ahmed Zaki has mentioned, when you provide for you a bus from the Jamarat house and the Jamarat towards the Haram to perform your Tawaf in Fajr and Sa'i. Coming back again, you will have to find a way back to the Medina camps, which Alhamdulillah were there to assist you at all particular times. But those who will be after is walking. The last day of Hajj, the first day of 6th day, if you choose, day after we will provide for you buses to bring you back to your homes. But again, the distance it takes you from the Jamarat back to your camp, it's shorter to walk from the Jamarat back to your home.
If one is successfully configured a double in Azizia and they successfully purchase a double, does that guarantee you the double room or is there a possibility that you may not get the double in Azizia?
So if we have configured a package to the double room and it's still verified and on the day you do payment, it is confirmed, then you confirm the double room.
If you pay not now. It's a purchase day. If you succeed to get that guarantee, but at the moment it is just you are giving the system your home. That's it. It's a configuration. Yeah. But put in your mind, Subhanallah, if you put in all that day, the double, are you ready to make it triple, well, whatever? I'm talking about seconds, huh? Seconds. Are you ready to reconfigure it as a triple? Just you want the package in any way to perform Hajj. This is your decision, and decision should be made before the purchase day.
Just to add to that, for example, they've given us $22 per package. So the first 22 sales will go through on the system and automatically will stop it. Then you have to reconfigure it. You're not successful in the purchase on that day.
Sister, any question? The sister in the front. Any question?
You're only minutes, double sharing. What about the single people that's going? Yes, Shukran sister for that question. So, if you are a single lady, you registered successfully, you've been verified, you will indicate on the system whether you want to go into a double, triple, or a quad. So if you are on a single application, go and configure your package by clicking on 4 persons or 3 persons to show that you want to go into a triple or quad, and for Azizia also select a triple or a quad. If you want double, then you select on double. So then automatically if you are successful on the day of purchase, once the entire sales phase is over, Rawaf pulls all that information through and then be able to put you into a room with additional 2 ladies, 3 ladies, depending on what you configure. You have a choice when you are configuring to stipulate how many you want to bring. Yes.
I think we didn't answer your question, right, sister? Did you get the answer or not? Okay. And she can configure in double as well if she wants. You can do double, triple, quad. At the end, if double, you will stay with another sister. If triple, you will stay with another two sisters in a room, and that's it.
And there's a price difference. So if you say in double, the price is more. If you say in quarter, the price is more.
It's all fixed. If you take in double, all triple, all quad, the price will remain fixed. On the reward system, on the system, it remains the same. So it's not going to decrease. So obviously you have a better option of choosing probably double in Medina, double in Mecca, and obviously fast track in Medina, you could indicate quad, or but the price is the same.
All the packages, you have 3 hotels. Let's make it very simple. 3 hotels, you know, because I'm lecturer, so it's easy. You have 3 hotels. The first hotel, definitely double. There is no doubt, because we don't have triple and quad. The second hotel, it is only double, because we don't have triple and quad. Only the third hotel, you need to configure between double or triple or quad. I think all the questions about the third hotel, because the first and the second, there is no other choice. It is all double, all the way. Yes, yes.
I think my question will go around your anesthesia and your movement between Medina and anesthesia. So obviously some studies for getting help. And then are you allowed to come back to your hotel in anesthesia? And can you move from your hotel? Or do you have to go back to the camp? What's the distance between after your first time into anesthesia back to your camp? That's one. And if your hotel in Anesthesia, this is a proper hotel. So, for example, in South Africa, we were used to a building, for example, that's been converted into a hotel. So, is this a proper hotel in Anesthesia?
Because of that, we, not the brothers, we use Hajj building because Aziziyah building, it is your accommodation during Hajj days. You know, day 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 of Zulhijjah. What is the benefit, or why we are naming it as a Hajj building? Because if you want to take a shower, if you want to take the rest, after that, you go back to Mina camp to make a sunnah. So this is a close hotel to Jamarat area, not to your camp. Nusuk Hajj camp, it is one of the farthest camp to the Jamarat. Okay, I am not afraid of, I'm telling you, it is Al-Mu'aysim, to Jamarat, not to Aziziyah. Aziziyah come after Jamarat. To Jamarat, it is something between 2.5 up to 3 kilometers. All Nusuk Hujjah, not Rawaf, not South Africa, all Nusuk Hajj camp, it's inside Mina border, yes, but in an area called Al-Mu'aysim, and Al-Mu'aysim, it is 2.5 kilometers to Jamarat. After Jamarat, you walk to your building in Aziziyah. All in all, 3 kilometers. Jamarat to building, 3 kilometers.
There's flexibility to go to Aziziyah. You don't have to go back to Mina.
Yes, that means during the 5 days or whatever days you have, at least the room is yours. On the 10th day, if you will go to the building and you feel that obviously you're incapable and elderly and infant, one will remain in the building is yours, the room is yours in itself. If you will guide him and tell him you need certain services that can be accommodated, you'll try and facilitate and arrange it in itself. And after you take a shower, probably just a minute allow it come before Maghrib, others before Fajr, and you can go to the camp as and when you please.
And if you don't want to go to the camp, you can stay there. From there, you can go to Stony next day and the day after. The hotel, it is during Hajj days, full access, your room, whatever, everything. But there is a no transportation from building to camp, and there is a no assistance because all the team in Mina. But there is a hotel people, and there is a Rawaf, what is it? Rawaf team, okay, remain in the hotel for emergency, for it, whatever. We are not leaving the building alone, okay? The hotel actually, it is one-star hotel. So always there is a someone, not someone, more than one, represent us, subhanallah, just in case anything happen. So there is a Rawaf.
I think the important thing is obviously Makkah and Medina, but afford to have right-side permanent hotel. And when you come into Asia, as Ahmed has said, it is a one-star hotel. So obviously it is comfortable, it's easy, basic services are provided on a daily basis, where there's a requirement in itself. Obviously you're moving from 5-star, say 1-star, you'll see a earlier variation in terms of what is from 5 to 1-star.
Let me add something here. Arafat and Mina camp, it is not Rawaf camp. It is a Nusuk camp. Okay, what is the difference? There is one contractor who serves all the 50,000 Hujjaj of Nusuk in Arafat and in Mina. This is the first explanation. But last year, our experience with our Hujjaj in Nusuk camp, in Mu'azzin and Arafat, honestly, it was more than very good. The AC quality was very good, the sofa bed very good, the camp, it was very established. The year before, I myself complained to the ministry and made a big trouble, because my Hujjaj paid to the Nusuk, but the service, it wasn't proper. But the last Hajj, really, they improved very well. The toilets, mashallah, they made additional, everything was nice. So I am not afraid of Mina or Arafat. But I repeat, I am not the contractor, but we need to tell the truth. It was very nice, the last Hajj. It improved a lot. And by the way, we are in the same place this year as well. So everything I believe this year it will be, inshallah, at least like last year or even better. There is
Compared to previous years, where the camps of previous years, is there big distance between where it is now to, for example, last year?
In relation to where the South African camp was last year and where we are now, more or less the same walking distance in stock. In terms of the scale of the camp, it extends by far and wide in terms of what South Africans were used to, and the level of standard from last year, what was provided, the camps are much better in terms of facilities, in terms of food, and in terms of capability. Inshallah, it should be the same as last year.
It's in Mina days, it is 3 meals, an open buffet, and there is a snacks and everything. Also not by Rawaf, I repeat, it is by the contractor of Nusuk, but the things is very good. Last year, we were happy, our Hujjaj were happy, alhamdulillah. The guys, the contractor guys, they served very well. So it was nice. Nusuk, Arafah and Mina, Since the program started, the area never changed. Whatever the nationality, doesn't matter. If you are Nusuk Hajj system Hajj, the area is the same, okay? If you are asking us as a service provider, yeah, maybe based on our number every year, our camp can change, but not the area. For example, this year, our area, our Hujjah at the entrance. The year after, okay, in this hall, which is 60 meters from the distance. But the area is same. Same area for all Nusuk Hajj system Hujjah.
I think that question is an important question you pose. The important thing in the other process where we have to look at in terms of paying money what you want. And I think if you go to the slide itself, take into consideration the following factors when doing the transfer. Always try and use depending on the candidate utilizing, use a Visa credit card to transfer money instantaneous and stuff. Some as we have indicated with certain clients that came to us, debit card and the debit card sometimes take time and you have to go to that. So the credit card is instantaneous. Avoid all costs to transfer money via the banking system. I'm not saying that it won't reflect, it will take time, you have to go to and fro to ensure that it reflects in the wallet. When you transfer the money, that is a big amount that everybody is transferring. Double check with your bank in terms of the charges, the charging good to the emerging money from South Africa. There is charges at 30, there is charging try and negotiate at a better price. Before transferring the money, always check your limits on your credit cards. Advise your bank in terms of you doing a foreign transfer because sometimes it could be fraud. You don't want it to become a situation where you see it's fraud and then you decline the authorization itself. But these type of things, try and take this into consideration. When you transfer the money into the system, they charge a admin charge of penalty before it even goes into the system. This is the way that we have taken this year in terms of what the charges are, so you understand what this process is, in terms of recalling the money, what the process is, and so on.
Salam, especially for your question. There are three methods of payment into your e-wallet that are advisable. Number one is a credit card, which is the safest, most convenient, and obviously it reflects the same time if you transfer from your credit card. The charges related to your credit card will depend on your own individual bank. Okay? And the amounts that reflect in your IDN, because each person has a unique IDN number, the amounts will reflect according to the rate of exchange for that day when you transfer. Okay? Number two is you can use a debit card. The same thing applies. You need to let your bank know, because obviously with the debit card you've got to have the funds in your banking account, whereas a credit card you've got a credit card facility. The other thing also to remember when you're using your cards, it's advisable to phone your bank and let them know that you are making these transfers so that they actually release such big amounts out of your account. A lot of times they hold back the transaction because they think it's fraudulent activities taking place on your card. And this is why you find there is a delay in seeing your amount that you transfer into your bank account. The last option is the EFT. It's also a safe option, but I think it takes the longest. It can take anything between 10 to 12 working days to reflect. And if there's anybody that isn't topping up their wallet right now and waiting to do it last minute, the chances are that it won't reflect in time for the day that the purchases go up for sale, which is roughly the 3rd of February. That is the indicative date right now. 3rd of February. So obviously, depending on how you want to transfer your funds, you need to just do it from now or at a stage that it reflects before the 3rd. With regards to not being successful, if you are not successful, Nusuk has indicated your funds can stay in the account, in your iWallet, up until next year when you try again. The refund policy and cancellation policy are two separate items. Should you be selected and you decide you want to cancel, the cancellation policy is very clear in Nusuk. Within 72 hours, you will be refunded the full amount. Thereafter, cancellation fees will apply depending on how late you decide to cancel. In terms of withdrawing your funds without being successful, the money will be refunded back to the account by the means that you transferred it. In other words, if you transferred by credit card, it comes back to credit card. If you did an EFT, it comes back into your account. However, there are fees that will be attached to that, anything between 1.5% to 2%. 2.3% is on the cancellation policy, okay? But on the withdrawal, it's a different amount that will be charged by us. Is that clear, sister? To hold the funds? Not at that moment. Nusuk has not indicated. Your money will stay in that account according to the amount you transfer.
I think the one thing to add on the funds, see, you're configuring a package and you've got a light on the second and the third package. And if you see that, always try to have the higher amount in the package. For example, if the one package is 25 and I want is 27 and I want is 50. So to be on the safe side and increase your chances, rather have the full amount, because on that day if you want to transfer the difference, it becomes rather challenging and time consuming, and sometimes you have to, whatever, you have to wait for the OTP and ensure you can by that time, obviously most of the packages will be sold out. So take that into consideration. Yeah, sorry, I just want to say, after the first one, you'll see the terms and conditions of the fund. And take heed of it, that is after the first of September, if you have paid for your pay, you want to cancel, you will lose all your funds as per, not throw out, as per the system, as directed as used.
Any money issue, nothing to do with the law. There is a system and all the policies and regulations in the system. You know, when you pay Nusuk Hajj, okay, the money comes to us, okay, after the purchase, they start giving us by installments, okay, but there is no problem with Nusuk Hajj at all, okay, because hundreds of thousands of people, they are paying, and this is governmental platform, okay, inshallah, just the people, they don't read the policies and the regulations and the rules, then maybe they surprise because they doesn't know. Only there is this issue, but nobody lost his money or something happened, not at all there. If someone wants to use bank transfer, please do now. Tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, maximum. But if by credit card, doesn't matter because the credit card shows straight away. But depends. Some banks, the credit card is very high. The fees. Some they don't have the credibility of the package in their card. You know your business, but just my advice, if you want to use bank transfer, it must be within coming few days. Otherwise, I'm afraid maybe late. Some banks, the transfer appear the next day. Our Australian, subhanAllah, because they are, the day start there. When he transfer, when the bank opening, When in Saudi the banks open, the amount appears straight away, same day, in his account. This is also possible. But just to make sure, if you want to transfer, do it earlier as much as you can.
Sorry, wait again. If you have 8 in the family, how do you apply the taxes that you want to stay together? So 8 people, so you have eight members in the family, then how do we apply it together?
So have you configured the package? Are you taking about verified under one profile?
We've already been verified, but now choosing the package.
All are verified under one profile?
I'm not too sure, but they verified individually.
They verified individually.
Verify individually, get the IBAN for everyone, fill the e-wallet of the everyone. After that, do it one profile as a family. First till the last step. Okay? Trade them individual. Before configuration, gather all together under one account, okay? From there, start doing the configuration and everything. Why I am telling this? Maybe those 7, 8, 6, it is real family member. So the money issue, not problem, okay? Father and mother and son and kid, but sometimes the foreigner, they are making a group family to make it easy on the day of purchase. Just one click, 8 package all together. In this case, everyone at the beginning, he worked as individual till he fill his work. Because if they couldn't succeed, the refund will go straight to every individual account, not will go to the group leader. Maybe you can explain.
Yeah, so it's important also to take into consideration. There are changes. Obviously, you're leaving off to one profile, there's a possibility all 8 can go to me. However, your package so long, there's risk, probably you do 2, the chances are going to. So you have to balance it out. Again, if people want 2 to be together as 8, or alternatively as the chance of 2 getting going into. But this is the risk that you take in each future.
Can be 3 in a group,
Yeah.
can be 5 in a group. But first, everyone get in, verified individual, fill the IBAN individually, okay? After that, you can gather them, okay, under one account. 3 then, 3 or 4, whatever, up to 8. Why? We are doing individual because if you couldn't make it, when you ask refund, everyone's money will go to his IBAN.
Assalamu alaikum. I have 2 questions. Yes, both of these packages will loaded on the Nusuk platform. The majority said that they will be able to find Rawah or Quran. And then the second question I have, the only implication of which don't go through the will be attached to these.
In terms of up to yesterday, both were available on the system. Our consultants are outside, they can double check and show you in terms of access of the system. In terms of local I think so, and obviously, again, this is very different. Mula we got 340 something packages that are available on system, probably more. However, we have identified what Nusuk in partnership with Nusuk, and obviously there's a possibility to 3 ulama, 2 ulama, 4 ulama could go. And obviously one is Maulana Sulaiman Rawastar today, and one is Maulana Dawud Stanton from Cape Town, and another one is Maulana Zakaria Nusuk from Cape Town. These are the 2 that we have identified in the university will engage with the WAP itself. So obviously they got a process that they follow by a Hajj ministry in terms of approval, and we guide it for their process. Inshallah, we make one. These are ulama that have been on multiple occasions, they have performed multiple Hajj, obviously in good hands. That is about spirituality, and that's what people want to focus on. That the ulama take, must give you proper understanding, proper guidance in terms of doing Hajj. And obviously when you reach a region itself, you can be rest assured that the ulama is there, there'll be daily programs, there'll be daily guidance in terms of guiding you, in terms of how to go through, in terms of the process of the 5 days of Hajj, and there'll be daily advice and daily programs.
On the day of sales, to log into your account, you need an OTP. So what happens if your OTP doesn't come in that 5 minutes? Is there an alternative way to log into your account, or you just sit there and wait and try to get it?
I think on that one day you have to take Bismillah and you take some Satya and you make dua. So ultimately what happens is here, on the day it opens, you request the OTP, and sometimes after 3 minutes it doesn't come, and then you request it the second time. And remember, after the third time is a challenge, then we have to wait itself. So multiple people are in, and like after the time we have to wait, because if you now request the first time, probably we have to wait about an hour or so. So I think Alhamdulillah, I think so, the system is behind in our system. They have done improvement in terms of Nusuk, in terms of the management of the system itself. Over the years, it has been working in itself, and we make one inshallah over the first time in this.
Just to get to the, once you get your first, once you get your first looking for your OTP on the system, after 5 minutes it doesn't come. Press again for resend an OTP again, and you're still waiting. The time the first OTP you're going to receive will be for your first time in present. If you use that number, you're not going to access the system itself. So those are just to, once you've done it, you want to wait for the OTP. You do multiple times, you may have an issue with it. And according to some of they did it last year, up to 4 or 5 times you press it, the system blocks you completely. So just be careful with that also.
Just a question for the packages. If I understand the price correctly, you're trying to come back out of Jeddah and send what to be done. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Transport, if you're flying to Jeddah, for example, transport to Medina, is best by a bus or by a train, and the same way, alternative if you fly out to Medina, or you come back to Medina.
As we have indicated in the 2 packages, all round-trip transfers are included in that package. If you fly into Jeddah and you need to be in Medina, you will be bused. Within the package it is bus, but if you so prefer to go by train, you can indicate that you want to go by train, and then as Rawat, we will make arrangements to try and accommodate you subject to availability. Likewise, with the Medina departure, you are supposed to be bused from Makkah to Medina. Subject to availability, we can make arrangements for the train.
Just take into consideration that the price that you pay obviously is bus transport. So obviously when you are arriving in Jeddah and you want to go by train to Medina, we will look at the engagement to work that option is open itself. There is a possibility of a variation in terms of the cost if you are choosing the option of the train itself. Obviously in the train itself you can be rest assured that the money will be managed properly. If you take your train, if not, you will transport further from Jeddah to Medina, and probably 2-3 hours after you arrive, the bus will be there and it will be made available to yourself. And that still applies to other sectors. Any other questions?
Another question, the benefit of the house is for the courtrooms and the triple rooms is mine to you with overweight place. Is that just for the group, 3 or 4, or even you select a courtroom and you share it about that? Some people might get the overweight place.
In Azika, you get obviously 4 scanning pages a day. There's no rollover package in the scanning side. Obviously in Medina and Makkah, depending on the hotel, some people or some hotels configure the normal bed and others configure in a rollover bed, depending on the hotel itself. But in most cases now, with the 5-star, it's a day bringing rollover beds.
Assalamu alaikum.
When it comes to cook, okay, say some of the family members are using non-South African passports, will that be an issue?
The Nusuk system in the quota has indicated obviously specified South African resident holders. Obviously, unless you have a permanent residence, obviously, and that can be uploaded on the system. But there's no one indication from previous years where you're not a South African citizen, it could pose a challenge in terms of you getting verified or choosing a tax in itself. The relevant documentation has to be over the dynasty, and you have to send emails. Obviously, our office can assist you if it's possible. It could pose a challenge, but rather obviously you verify this, and you don't want to transfer money into your e-wallet, and then you risk obviously losing commission and support can be back if you receive not confirmed. Yeah. And if you confirm it with your permanent residence and the documents in place, then it should be known.
Assalamu alaikum. So my question was back to e-wallets. So after you purchase the package, assuming there's a few reals that's assuming 500 reals, what happens with that money? You use it very much?
No, you cannot use the money that remains in your e-wallet. However, like after you have purchased the package, you request a refund, and then money will be refunded to you into the payment mode that you utilize, taking into consideration that they exchange it at a relevant date when they transfer it back. It would be the same as how you pay. So it could go up or it could go down.
There's a possibility that the balance of your money is left could be used on your Nusuk app. It will come as a credit on the Nusuk app which you download in your phone. And from there is a payment method where you could do certain payments that app is usually so. Subject to confirmation, of course.
There's nothing for trouble. Although they have the drawback is just a bit. So, you see how the Nusuk works? If your application states that you are 3 people on the profile, then you can select 3 beds because obviously you have to select a bed for each person. So you configure it, the charges will be the same, whether it's on a double or on a triple. So if you are a single lady, you will have to select a double room and another single lady will go into the room with you. Okay?
But I think you asked, you want triple in Medina? In the packages. You want triple or double? You want triple, right? In Medina, right? And in 5-star, right? Okay. Based on the room, okay, I will assist you to find the rollway. Maybe they have a situation, they want the 3 of them to be. And the room, it's big because the quad room and triple room, we made it double. Okay, so there is a space. And the 3rd person already, he paid, he's our Hajj. So we will listen to you and move the 3rd person with you to stay. Maybe she has a case that she wants to, okay. This is easy. Because I understand, because she asked the wrong way and no, there is a bed, there is a bed.
Just to follow up on that question. So when choosing the packages, which I've tried to yours, it doesn't give it says no rooms for triple in Azizia, no rooms for triple in Somalia. It doesn't want to configure.
So if you can verify this stuff, then it will only give you the option of double. You can verify
We have verified as 3 people.
Are you telling 3 people? So what you do, inshallah, after this, you speak to our consultants that are there, and any of ones that are there, and they'll guide you to that process, how to manage it, inshallah.
At the moment, the system should not reflect telling you there is no space.
It says there is all the 3 who have been accredited don't have beds because it's only showing double.
You're selecting double, you're supposed to change the image.
It's not allowing you that on the system.
Is it not?
There is something mistake. We will,
Yeah.
they will see. No, there is a mistake. Not in the system, in the configuration, because it's possible. At the moment, everyone is booking. Nobody holding. So whatever you ask, the system must allow you. Because nobody knows who will win with which one.
I think this is shall be a
There is
grand
something to
application.
see.
No problem. Don't worry. Anybody else?
Maybe, excuse me, maybe, I don't know.
Maybe that's my husband's
Maybe we
question.
take a break.
I think it was
Okay,
a
and after that, we come back. Anyone has a question, we can ask, whatever. Huh?
Yeah. I can hear you. Yes, he was indicating that this is under maintenance, don't worry. Once that it will come up like this. Again, next couple hours, depending on what you are doing. For example, what the system will go up and down, because various people are putting certain flights, certain things that are in. So you know this is coming and going. It should settle in the next 2 or 3 minutes.
Assalamualaikum. My man is in Saudi, so how will it work? I know he has to fly out of Saudi. He's not going to come to South Africa. So does he go to Abu Dhabi or something like that? Would the package be the same price?
Assalamualaikum. So as I explained to you previously, the fact that he's currently in the country with a different visa, he's got to exit the country of Saudi so that if he's successful, inshallah, then he has to enter Saudi with a Hajj visa. It means he must fly back into Saudi Arabia from South Africa or else from any other country closest to him.
But with the price on the package?
No, that means he will configure the package like yourself configure the package from South Africa. He will configure the same package but with the GDS flight. With the flight from the global distribution system. So that he flies in either from Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Muscat, wherever is close enough to him. He can fly in and out of it because when he enters with the Hajj visa, he must exit with the Hajj visa. He can't stay in the country. Okay?
Exactly.
I think what we're going to do is shut down.
Is South African passport holder?
Yes.
Okay. He no need to mention anything about Saudi or whatever. He is a citizen. He apply as a South African. Okay. This is definitely no problem. And regarding any price difference or whatever, there is no any difference. Just he will not take the group flight. He will do GDS, customize his flight.
What you're saying, it is so at the moment is working.
Yeah, it's okay.
They just stated that they have all the time.
Yeah, he must come back with the Hajj visa. Because if there is a no Hajj visa, there is a no Nusuk card. Without Nusuk card, including me, including Rawaf CEO, nobody can enter Arafah or Mina. It is no joke at all. So he must hold Hajj visa so we can issue Nusuk card for him.
Just so that I'm clear, if you don't get a good flight, the chances of a GDS system is much more less, for example, of percentage-wise to get the same objective. It will be easier for you to complete the flight with a good flight and forfeit the cost of the flight and use another flight. Like just for example, if you leave Saudi into Bahrain, for example, then you can come to that place. It will be easy option.
I think in terms of one other critical point, we try and cover the health issues, which is critically in the food system itself, in terms of the need and requirement, in terms of what you should have and what you shouldn't have.
So already the Nusuk system has been designed so that they can vet you basically, because you indicate to the Nusuk whether you have any chronic illnesses or whether you have any disabilities and whether you would be requiring additional medical attention in the country, and then obviously if you have any chronic or terminal illnesses. So if you have been verified successfully with having indicated that you have any of this, special care and consideration must be taken within yourself. If you have been approved and you are somebody who requires a wheelchair, you need to know that you need to take a caregiver with you. Somebody who can assist to push you on the days of Hajj. We performed in the summer months of Saudi Arabia. And so this can be very, if I can say, very strenuous on our bodies, because South Africa does very rarely have temperatures over 40 degrees. But you are doing Hajj in over degrees of 52 degrees, 48 degrees. So this can tire a person, and there can be heat exhaustion. And the fact that we have indicated our Mu'asim is almost 4.5 kilometers from the Jamarat, there is going to be a lot of walking. So Hujjaj have to bear in mind that exercising is imperative, and that starts from here. Your preparation for Hajj starts from here. Your shoes that you're going to take to walk on the days of Hajj, you should wear them in already. Start walking with the same shoes to avoid blistering. And then you also need to make sure you start to drink water. If you're only someone who drinks fizzy drinks and juices, drink a lot of water. With the perspiration and using salts, essential salts in your body, you need to stay hydrated. You need to learn to look after your bodies. Because just for those 5 days, you need a lot of strength, a lot of energy. You need to eat well. You need to take a lot of multivitamins to ensure that you at least see yourself through the 5 days with being at the peak of your health, inshallah. Okay? Another thing to remember is that if you are taking chronic medication, ensure you take sufficient to cover you during your journey. Obtaining medication in the kingdom is very difficult, and you need a script for most medications. So make sure you take your medication from here. If you take insulin, make sure you take your insulin pens, the appropriate needles for the pens, and you need to take your letter from your doctor indicating that you are on chronic meds. These are all important things to remember about your medication when traveling to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. There is one thing that they are very sticky about is Schedule 6, Schedule 5 medications. So you've got to take the necessary letters from your doctors or hospitals when you do travel in that regard. Oh yes, not to forget, yellow fever and meningitis is mandatory as well as COVID. COVID is mandatory. Seasonal flu you can just take, but
COVID no more. No more.
2025 mask. So for 2026 is not a requirement, but meningitis, yellow fever, and obviously you can take the seasonal influenza because a lot of us are not accustomed to air conditioning, and because of the extreme heat, you will be going in and out of hotels, airplanes, buses, all with air conditioning, and you will find that you will take in Makkah and Medina. You don't want to spend of your little time there being confined to a bed, so at least take your influenza medication. And like I said, build up on your vitamin levels, inshallah.
Advice from the brother to brothers and sisters. How to make the Hajj easy with many challenges. By the way, I make my official Hajj. I made a lot of Hajj since 1988, but as empty of mind, empty of work, I made my Hajj in 2022, the second year of Corona, when only 60,000 Saudi Hajj is doing the Hajj, I was one of them. Everything is start from us, from inside. If you are from inside feeling comfort and relaxed, every challenges will become easy. If you not fighting by yourself first and by the other judge, you have peace inside, believe me, the Hajj will be beautiful. We are 60,000, 60,000 in 2022. There is a one brother, mashallah, he's double me. When he saw me, he gave me something already, he break my arm. لبيك اللهم لك. We are 60,000, we are not 2 million. Subhanallah, maybe it's a test for me. I am not giving advice only. I live this. We need to be calm and peace inside. Inshallah, everything will be smoothly and full of acceptance. So the Hajj starts from us, from inside. But if you are preparing to make a jihad, Hajj is jihad, but not the other jihad. Maybe some people they are doing mistake, The Hajj is jihad because of the challenges. You are not going to fight. Okay, so we need to start from us. The peace from inside, and inshallah everything will go smooth.
We're going to try and close up and we'll take individual questions. The consultants will to address them. I think the important thing is beyond these two packages to go out. As we go along, you can reach out to our consultants and our guide, and they'll guide you in the event you are not successful. What these two universal packages will guide you through and tell you take it as options to be in the same zone as where we are in the media, because they have different zones. And you don't want to situate and take a package, you cannot settle in a different zone, it becomes possible, but obviously we are South Africans are accustomed to staying in good government, similar to Mina, and going up and down, so they will guide you in this process in terms of what it is. A lot of questions will come up and say, no, that your package, these packages were very cost effective and they had more options in itself. Remember, you just take the plan, demand different countries around the world request different type of requirements. As you come closer towards Hajj, prices escalate in itself. As you come earlier, the prices differentiate to factor. So these things are, we have to constantly stuff. It's not like a wow from charging you more for the sake of charging you more. Like I said, because you know that like that is indicated that once you arrive in the depart from Makkah, everybody else will be coming in. And the whole world is coming from the first of Hijjah. So on that basis, there's a variation of price. Anything else before any final? Again, Jazakallah to everybody for bringing himself. We thank you for inshallah Allah make account for the acceptance. Allah grant those that have been intended Hajj Maqbool and Maqbool. Inshallah, and again, as we could go as ourselves representing the Waqf, we'll avail ourselves at any given time. We want to reach out to us. Obviously, our consultants are here, our guides are here to assist people throughout this journey. Jazakallah khairan. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanallah wa bihamdihi. We should have learned and we
Salam.